Last Thursday, I was scrolling on Twitter. What can go wrong, right? New management turned Twitter into a savory and sweet source of revenue pie. Users gatekeeping other users. Horrible takes, which I'm going to get to in a second. And what's more, random ass tweets showing up in my recommended feed. Lovely. So anyway, I gleefully scroll on Twitter, right? And there is a particular film critic who pops up, who I haven't checked out in a long while because I'm too busy doing my own thing. And I don't like her. It's Grace Randolph with a tweet. And unfortunately, I have stumbled upon the misfortune of reading her poopy tweet. Now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Randolph's tweet is actually very relevant to the cinema industry, which is what we talk about on a regular basis here in the Cinema Courtroom show. And let me explain to you why that is. Grace Randolph tweeted the following. And I'm just going to pull up a screenshot of her tweet so that I can quote her accurately. Okay. All right. So this is what she tweeted. And I quote, "Anyone who supports AI, artificial intelligence, is probably not very creative to begin with, and therefore welcomes the crutch." So this is what Grace Randolph tweeted with her own words, not mine. Yikes. Big yikes. Yeah, no, this is an asinine thing to say. Alright, now it's essential to also note that she said this in response to Secret Invasion, which is now currently streaming on Disney+. The second episode got released this Wednesday, so here's that for your information. Basically, Secret Invasion utilized artificial intelligence to generate the intro of the first episode of Secret Invasion. Now, I don't know if we're going to use it in the second episode because this podcast is being recorded before the debut of the second episode. But I think we're just going to keep it in the first episode. And maybe if you read all the backlash online surrounding that, and we might remove that artificially generated intro. But because Secret Invasion is a television show, we will not be covering that specific news in the cinema, not TV, courtroom. But I will still be discussing what Grace Randolph, a certified and well-known film critic, stated on her platform. She published it, which means that it was there for people to read, and as such, readers have the right to praise or critique said tweet. So I'm not just, leaking something or exposing Grace Randolph. No. You can find the tweet yourself and make your own judgment, but I think that tweet speaks for itself in regards to her character and how totally brain dead she is. What I will basically be doing is pretending that Grace Randolph is listening to this insignificant podcast. Actually, you know what's funny? If she listens to this podcast, then that makes me feel significant compared to someone as low as her. Okay, alright, enough. Let me just outline to her deaf ears why Grace Randolph is such an idiot for the tweet that she sent that I just read. Okay. Anyone who supports AI is probably not very creative to begin with. Okay, let's start with that idiotic phrase. How, anyone who supports AI is they lack the creativity, is what Grace Randolph is saying. Grace Randolph. I don't care how I pronounce that idiot's name. Okay. First of all, Grace Randolph is making a very silly generalization of anyone who supports AI. Because when you say anyone who supports AI is probably not creative, well, now you are not only going after filmmakers in the entire industry for utilizing AI, but you're actually going after people who use artificial intelligence for not only filmmaking, but for other things, such as, I don't know, chess-playing computers, automated cars. Thanks, Elon, for that. Natural language processing, stuff like that. And I also use AI to do basic and sometimes complex tasks as well. So yeah, I'm, holding on to a crutch, if you will. For a matter of fact, I might be using AI sometimes to fine-tune some of my podcast scripts and to get the podcast out on time in a weekly manner. Listen, the idea for my podcasts come from my head and then they're rationalized into specific prompts. Therefore, crafting a flawless script whenever I'm not improvising. But I am improvising now, so I'm just speaking what's in my mind. But sometimes when I want to organize my notes, I use AI to do all the organization for me, leaving me time to do other creative stuff. But according to Grace Randolph, I am welcoming the crutch. And by the way, saying that someone, quote unquote, welcomes the crutch is a very insensitive thing to say about someone, especially toward people who need to use crutches, because you're basically telling them to their face, you chose to be disabled. Look, you don't have any legs, so you're going to have to go on a wheelchair. That's your fault. Because you're welcoming the crutch. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I should give... No, I'm not going to do that. But I was going to say, I should give Grace Randolph the benefit of the doubt when she tweeted it. Because no one is thinking when they say a group of people are welcoming the crutch. Of course they're not. But they were born that way. So they need to use the crutch. And it's a very rude thing to say about people, or to use as an insult. People also have to use figurative crutches, like tools that make people's lives easier in a, mental capacity, a physical capacity, emotional capacity, all various contexts. We all sometimes need to use what, Grace Randolph would say as welcoming the crutch. And the bottom line is, everyone uses tools. So please, Grace Randolph, I implore you, for the sake of everyone's sanity, just grow the hell up and adapt to the evolution of those tools. Please. Many people use the tools provided by artificial intelligence, especially filmmakers and artists. AI art's ability to unleash boundless creativity is irrefutable. For instance, artificial intelligence algorithms can process and analyze a colossal amount of data, drawing from a vast array of styles, techniques, and cultural influences. ChatGPT gets all of that from the internet base from the year 2021. So this enables AI to break free from the constraints of traditional and human limitations. Furthermore, the people who support AI are likely to acknowledge a realistic fact that humans are limited. And in order to overcome these limitations, you need to have those crutches, a word that I still don't like when used despicably by an out-of-touch film critic like Grace Randolph. And also, if we apply Grace Randolph's, logic to every single innovation known to man, then everyone who uses video editing software and doesn't cut on film welcomes a crutch. Or anyone who can't ride a horse and uses a car welcomes a crutch, putting saddle makers out of business. Boo-hoo! Well, while we're at it, you can also say anyone who streams their movies and shows and doesn't purchase DVDs welcomes a crutch, right? Just like when people also were like, printers are gonna go poo-poo on the art industry, and yet the art industry is still thriving like ever before. So again, and respectfully, shut up, Grace Randolph. Grow up, please. The world does not revolve around you, because not only is what you are saying irrelevant and easily debunkable, it is libel. And I'm frankly disgusted that you shamelessly undermined millions of talented creators. You disgrace the entire cinema industry with what you're spouting out. I will stomp on 1,000 pigeons, lift Mount Everest at the edge of my pinky, build an entire universe out of just sand, rub my feet on lava, chop off my balls, or eat cookies infested with raisins before I endorse a idiot person like Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph is undoubtedly a certified idiot rather than a certified critic. That's all I have to say.